Although Brooklyn Nine-Nine was NBC's best sitcom in the last 10 years, the series ironically started on another network entirely. NBC has an incredible track record when it comes to the sitcom format. From classics of the genre like The Golden Girls and Sanford and Son to edgy, experimental efforts like Community and 30 Rock, the network consistently raises the bar. This is why many of NBC's best shows ever are sitcoms, from Friends to Cheers to Seinfeld. That said, not all the network's iconic comedic creations came directly from NBC itself. It is not uncommon for one network to cancel a series and another network to pick it up, which means some seasons are produced by one and others by another. This is why American Dad's tenure at TBS had a distinctly different feel from its time at Fox, and it explains how Community continued its 6-season run after it was cancelled by NBC post-season 4. This process also means that one of the best NBC sitcoms of the last decade, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, wasn't originally an NBC show in the first place. Brooklyn Nine-Nine started on Fox before it became an NBC show. Although the Andy Samberg vehicle eventually became an NBC show after its cancellation, Brooklyn Nine-Nine was originally a Fox series. The series began in September 2013 and was met with critical acclaim, but, despite a cast of rising stars including Stephanie Beatriz and Samberg, the series always struggled in the ratings. Season 1 managed a solid average of 4.8 million viewers, and Season 2 maintained this, but Season 3 saw the show drop to only 3.98 million per episode, while Season 4 saw another precipitous drop to 2.87 million. Although all of Brooklyn Nine-Nine seasons have their charms, Fox unsurprisingly opted to pull the plug on the series upon seeing this downward trend. This isn't particularly surprising considering the network's focus on animated sitcoms in recent decades. Although Fox does still have some live-action sitcoms in 2025, such as Animal Control and Going Dutch, these titles don't even come close to competing with their competitors at ABC, NBC, and CBS, such as Abbott Elementary, Happy's Place, and Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. Fox works around this by relying on perennially popular animated sitcoms like Bob's Burgers, The Simpsons, and Family Guy to form the bulwark of its comedic lineup. In fact, the network has even invested in new animated sitcoms like Grimsburg and Krapopolis, as well as reacquiring American Dad years after Fox cancelled the show and TBS renewed it. NBC saved Brooklyn Nine-Nine after Fox cancelled the series. Since NBC has traditionally been the home of inventive, experimental sitcoms, it makes sense that Brooklyn Nine-Nine ended up there after its Season 5 cancellation. While Brooklyn Nine-Nine's time on Fox allowed the show to pull off a new girl crossover, it also meant that the series lived on a network that wasn't known for its live-action sitcoms. In contrast, NBC had been home to 30 Rock, Parks and Recreation, and Community in the decade before Brooklyn Nine-Nine arrived there. This meant the network had an impressive pedigree when it came to chaotic, anarchic workplace comedies with a heart of gold, which was exactly how Brooklyn Nine-Nine was sold to audiences. Furthermore, NBC had also been the network behind Seinfeld, Cheers, Friends, Sanford and Son, and The Golden Girls in decades past. Although CBS had MASH, NBC was still arguably the home of the quintessential American sitcom, meaning Brooklyn Nine-Nine was in good hands for the last 3 of its eventual 8 seasons. At least, that was how it seemed at the time. When NBC picked up Brooklyn Nine-Nine in mid-2018, the show seemed to be saved and fans around the world breathed a collective sigh of relief. Fittingly, Season 6 saw the show's weekly average viewership jump from a series low of 2.71 to a respectable 3.11 million, and its future seemed secure. Sadly for fans, Brooklyn Nine-Nine's final season struggled to acclimate to changing cultural perceptions of the police as an institution. Most famously, Season 8's entire backlog of scripts was thrown out and rewritten after the death of George Floyd and subsequent Black Lives Matter protests in summer 2020. NBC still ended Brooklyn Nine-Nine early. Only 2 years after the show's triumphant return from cancellation, Brooklyn Nine-Nine was cancelled again in 2021, this time for good. A truncated 8-episode Season 8 was released between August and September 2021, and critics were divided on the show's attempts to address systemic issues of policing while maintaining its usual cheery, cartoony tone.